Well, good afternoon. No, there's no triple numbers or any special numbers on the clock. Of course, I could change that if I wanted to, but I don't. The title for today's talk Is the Cabal really losing its grip on the world? I did not make my video in the normal time period, as you will notice. I had a very draining day yesterday that continues today. Personal issues going on, strange dreams, and articles being sent to me all contribute to this, I'm sure. One year, uh, 1 year old article sent to me talked about China becoming the next Rothschild superpower. I do provide the link to that. The ambassador helped me understand that one better, along with some Bible quotes from the Red Dragon. Another more encouraging article was from Veterans Today, America's Secret Civil War, and yes, I provide the link to that one as well. I'm in a strange space emotionally, so please forgive me if this does not flow as I would like. I'll do my best. Indeed, there have been some personal challenges going on in my life that I'm not going to share regarding and related to my family. There have been some strange dreams that don't make any sense at all. I'm not able to get a handle on them, and I'm not going to share them because there's no point in sharing something that I don't get a handle on. I did share one of the dreams with the ambassador this morning, but I was looking so bad and feeling so bad that he told me to go rest. And unfortunately, for me lately, the last while, I can't sleep more than an hour and a half or 2 hours at a time, and I'm back up wide awake. And though I try to lay down several times, I'm not able to get sound sleep and strange dreams that are nonsensical to me. They do not make sense to my mind at all. And then 2 articles that I mentioned. The first article it said about Jewish superpower, the next Jewish superpower being China. I don't like when they say it's the Jewish superpower because it's not Jewish, it's Zionist, and more specifically, it's Rothschilds. They are the ones that are responsible for the protocols of the Elders of Zion. They are responsible for all the world wars over the past couple of centuries at least, going back actually into the 18th century, yes, the 1700s, all the way back that far when the Bavarian Illuminati was founded. And they have been messing in world politics ever since then. All of this time, all of these decades, going back into 1776 approximately, they have been interfering in world affairs, creating wars, financing both sides of wars, helping to establish the domination system around the world. It's not Jews, because the Zionists are not Jewish, not in the sense that they are descended from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They are Khazarians coming out of a part of what used to be the Soviet Union, and they are a diabolical and very politically oriented group of people who chose to become Jewish. But Jewish is more than just a religion. Jewish is also Semitic. It means you come from a certain region of the world, and that's where your roots are traced back to. That's not true of most of the Jews on the planet today. I'm not going to go into that any further than that, but I am not anti-Jewish, and I'm certainly not anti-Semitic. I am anti-Zionist. Zionism is a cancer that must be somehow either irradiated, eradicated, removed in one way or another from the body politic of humanity, because we will never have peace on earth as long as this plague is allowed to exist within human consciousness. Anyway, the Red Dragon provided some Bible verses to the ambassador to share with me, which he did. And it's interesting. I've told you, I think, that the ambassador himself has within his family lineage currently practicing Christians, Jews, and Muslims. And he chose himself to be a Muslim. The Red Dragon, on the other hand, was raised in a family more oriented toward Eastern religion and philosophy, but converted to Christianity. And he sent me Bible quotations, and I'm going to go ahead and just take time to read what he sent to me, even though there's several of them and it'll take a few minutes to do so. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because you have rejected knowledge, I reject you from being a priest to me. And since you have forgotten the law of your God, I will also forget your children. Hosea 6:6, for I desire steadfast love and not sacrifice, the knowledge of God rather than burnt offerings. Proverbs 1:7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Proverbs 8:10, take my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. Proverbs 10:14, the wise lay up knowledge, but the mouth of fools brings ruin near. Proverbs 15:2, the tongue of the wise commends knowledge, but the mouths of fools pour out folly. 2 Chronicles 1:10, give me now wisdom and knowledge to go out and come in before this people. For who can govern this people of yours, which is so great? 2 Chronicles 1:11. God answered Solomon, because this was in your heart, and you have not asked for possessions, wealth, honor, or the life of those who hate you, and have not even asked for long life, but have asked for wisdom and knowledge for yourself, that you may govern my people over whom I have made you king. The next verse, wisdom and knowledge are granted to you. I will also give you riches, possessions, and honor, such as none of the kings who were before you, and none after you shall have the like. Job 36:12. But if they do not listen, they perish by the sword and die without knowledge. 1 Samuel 2:3. Take no more so very proudly. Let not arrogance come down or come from your mouth, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. Proverbs 18:15, and he said, read full chapter. An intelligent heart acquires knowledge, and the ears of the wise seeks knowledge. Acts 3:17. And now, brothers, I know that you acted in ignorance, as did also your rulers. Acts 17:30. The times of ignorance God overlooked, but now he commands all people everywhere to repent. Oh, is that one ever appropriate for the day and age that we live in? Ephesians 4:18. They are darkened in their understanding, alienated from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them due to their hardness of heart. 1 Peter 1:14. As obedient children, do not be conformed to the passions of your former ignorance. 1 Peter 2:15. For this is the will of God, that by doing good you shall put to silence the ignorance of foolish people. The dragon family wages its war on ignorance and on financial tyranny. Regarding the article about the Jews being in control of China, the Rothschilds did put Mao in place. But Mao, unlike rulers of other tyrannies, did not kill the family, did not wipe out those that had held the heritage of China for so long. Instead, he demoted them to become common people, to live in normal homes, to work jobs, and to develop skills that ultimately enabled them to become enlightened. But they did not forget who they were. And China, in the present day, over the last few years especially, has been purging itself of the Zionist Rothschild influence, the same as Russia. They've been executing and or imprisoning or expelling these international bankers and this cabal right and left, because they do not want to be ruled by these tyrants and these liars that have gone around and perverted justice, bought up empires of the media and major corporations, the controlling interest in major corporations, turned our governments into nothing more than profit-making corporations, committing crimes against humanity and committing treason and committing acts of theft and extortion against the people that live in the nations of the world. This is the world that we have, and it's created by Zionists, not Jews. Jews are descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who come from the tribes of Judah and Benjamin and or Levi, because the Levitical priesthood, when the kingdom was divided after the death of Solomon, between Rehoboam and Jeroboam, the priests that were in the northern kingdom, called Israel, fled to the southern kingdom, called Judah, and they are the Jews, by the way. They fled into there, so any real Jew that traces his history back to biblical times has to come from that region. They're the Sephardic Jews that still exist in our modern day and age. But most Jews that call themselves Jews today are Zionists that do not come out of the former nation of Israel, more modernly called Palestine, and even more modernly called the modern or the restored Israel, but that is a Zionist state. It is not a Jewish state, and you need to make that clarification. Most Jews are decent, loving people. They are not Zionists, and many Zionists, when they understand what that means, have rejected that brand of Judaism and have come home because they've purified their hearts and turned from the ways of these parasitical elements of Zionists that are controlled by the international bankers of Rothschild and Rockefeller and the Schiffs and Morgans and all of the others, the Bushes and the Clintons in the United States. All of these cabal people. The second article that was much more uplifting to me came from Veterans Today, and that was America's Secret Civil War. And I'm going to actually open that in front of me here. It's by columnist Preston James, PhD. And he said, this is a remote-controlled civil war. The aggressors are mind-controlled mercenary zombies fighting on behalf of the City of London, the Rothschild world Zionists, but they are also fighting on behalf of Israel, Israeli leaders, Saudi Arabia, the Bush crime cabal lackeys, still deeply embedded inside the secret shadow government, also known as the United States privatized defense establishment. And he actually paints Obama in this article as fighting against the shadow government. That will make some of you happy to hear that there are people that still see Obama as one of the good guys. Now, he's played a dangerous game. I'm probably playing a dangerous game. I'm more involved in world politics since I've been interacting with the Dragon family than I ever was with just Swiss Indo or Russa. But the dynamics are interesting. The dynamics are such that we can see if we look. And the ambassador pointed this out to me. There are elements within the United States military and even within the United States government, and certainly within the United Nations, that actually are fighting against the cabal. They're fighting against Agenda 21 and all of these corporate takeovers of the world. This is encouraging news. I mean, I don't know what's draining my energy the last few days, last couple of days especially, since a couple of nights ago is when it started. And I do know the incident that triggered that, but it's bigger than that, and I'm not going to go into the incident. It's a family incident. In any case, I have been really wrestling with these ideologies and these ideas and these articles that have come to me, and I've only named two. There have been others as well that came in the same thing because I've cross-referenced certain things, as I sometimes do, and I've watched certain videos and stuff like that. The Cabal, in this very moment, I'm convinced that the Cabal is coming down. Are they still a viable force to be reckoned with? They certainly are. They have not lost all their power, and they may be using certain weapons against certain people, myself included. I don't know. I'm not able, as I think I said, to sleep more than 1.5 or 2 hours. I mean, it's 1 to 2 hours and I'm awake. Sometimes it's not even an hour and a half. I took a nap just a little while ago, and from the time that I laid down till the time that I woke up was only an hour and 15 minutes, and I did not fall asleep for probably 5 to 10 minutes at the very least once I laid down. So I got barely over an hour's sleep at the most. This has been the pattern of the last couple of days. Even when I try to go to bed for the night, I only get to sleep for an hour and a half, 2 hours tops, and I'm back up, wide awake. So I don't know what's zapping me, but my energy feels drained. I do not feel as alert and competent as I'd like to feel. But I do believe with all of my heart that the Cabal is losing its grip. And I almost didn't want to make a video today, I'll be honest with you. If there was ever a day that I didn't want to make a video, today would be the day. But I promised, I made a commitment to you that I would put out a video every day. Now I could rerun one of my old videos and take some time off, I'm sure. But I choose not to do that. I want something fresh. And so I appreciate the ambassador being patient with me in this time when I've not been able to communicate at this level that I have in the past. I appreciate the Red Dragon reaching out to me. I appreciate those of you who listen and that you consider the dynamics of what's happening. There is a spiritual awakening going on. People who have been in ignorance are turning toward wisdom, turning toward knowledge, as the Bible quotes indicate. God wants us to turn toward wisdom and knowledge. Solomon was given great wealth because that's what he chose, and I encourage you to choose wisdom over riches. Stop chasing dollars or money. Stop even chasing gold. Stop chasing power over others, and don't be a control freak. If you can gain control of your own tongue and of your own life, you're doing very well. You're doing very well indeed. We must be built up inside of ourselves. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize it's 18 minutes already. We must be built up inside of ourselves, and we must defeat the Cabal inside of us, which is nothing but the ignorant ruler that has no knowledge. We must embrace knowledge and embrace wisdom and embrace life itself. And in so doing, we will be transformed, and in so doing, we will transform the world. Thank you for listening, and namaste.